That's for my mouse. We're live. Don't ask questions. Hi, everyone. Not that anyone's here.
I'm just going to put a reminder in the group. We should be doing this prior.
Well, true, but I've only just walked in the door 6 minutes ago, so no one's here yet, so we may as well just talk amongst ourselves.
Shouldn't it come up here straight away? Ah, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, I worked it out. Yay!
Yeah. Just make sure the volume on that's down. No one's here yet. See? So we'll just talk amongst ourselves. Maybe no one will turn up. Have a biscuit.
Is that right? Did that work? Okay, so I'll just grab this coffee. Facebook.
Oh, someone's here. Hello. Sorry, I'm just having a bite to eat.
Who was that?
Well, someone's here. Hello. Welcome along.
You shouldn't be eating a biscuit.
Yeah, I only walked in the doors. I just walked in the door 6 minutes ago, guys. Sorry. You have got a. We're trying to work it out whether you, in order to comment, whether you need to have a YouTube channel. And I think you just need to have a Google account. So you can log into your Google account, and then when you go to sign in.
I'll pay attention in a sec. I'm just setting it up in the Facebook group.
We've got 3. Hello, people. How you doing?
Okay, now I can close that.
Welcome to another Friday night. Friday night what? A bit of us?
Friday night drink stuff.
Yeah, I know. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, guys. Hope you got a drink as well.
Cheers. So, hope everyone's week's been good. What's our week been like?
Very busy.
What did we do? When I was working, but
I know Wednesday was a big, long day in terms of early start, late night.
Yeah, I was working in the morning. As some of you hopefully have seen.
You were just working.
I know, I was working, but then as some of you would have seen, we did went down to southern suburbs of Melbourne, and we met up with a guy called Ben who's built a tiny house. Not a full tiny house, but it's certainly a very livable space. It was originally designed as an Airbnb property for up the coast in Byron Bay, and we did an interview with Ben, which is now up on YouTube. Check it out. Not now. Don't do it now, but do it later. And we tried to get the video tour uploaded, but why was it like almost 3 gigabyte in size?
Because I'm still learning.
Because you've done other videos that are
I don't know why.
Yeah, that one with Meet the Joneses or the New Joneses. That was like 18 minutes.
Ask me. I don't know.
Anyway, we're getting the hang of this stuff. But yeah, so we went and did an interview with Ben and a video tour of Ben's little place.
Yeah, we did the interview, the tour, then you had a phone interview, which went for about half an hour.
Yeah, that was on the spur. She said, ring me ASAP for News Limited. So,
hi,
Leonie.
Kat. Hi, Leonie.
Hey, Leonie.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Em.
I'm trusting that Leonie is sitting there with a drink on her slinky sofa table.
I hope so.
I'm assuming that's the case.
Who was it that contacted you today?
Yesterday. Nasty Bastard contacted me today. Carteret contacted me, and and I told him the slinky sofa tables are on the way.
Was it today or yesterday? Someone said that they received it. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, Leonie.
It was Leonie.
Yeah.
Cheers, Leonie.
Hey, Amber and Mary Coates. Oh, so we've got Leonie and Mary Coates. Mary must be mum. Hey, mum.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. So, yeah, so we had this journalist from News Limited that said, I want to do a story and can you call me ASAP? So we did that.
That's you.
What?
Bumping me.
It's with love, sorry. And then we had a presentation.
Yeah, then we had to
the wine bar.
Drive over to Brunswick. So Logan Street.
Logan Street. Yeah, we were invited to do a presentation at Nasty Bastard said there's a ghost behind me.
It could have been a dog. We have a dog in the house.
We've got a So
I'm going to go get it.
oh, here we go.
Actually, I can't because I'll see that I'm in my trackie bag. So my
Yeah, she looks all gorgeous at the top, but she's got her grey tracksuit pants, slubby around the house, pants on underneath. Just walk behind me so people don't see the tracksuit pants. Anyway, this is my daughter Emily. Emily, say hello to the people.
Where am I supposed to look?
In there, that's the camera.
Oh, okay.
Say hello to the people. Yeah. So this is my daughter Emily. And
what's this one's name?
Emily. So this is a dog. And it doesn't look like a dog.
It's a Chihuahua.
It is a dog.
It's the cutest little Chihuahua I've ever seen.
Yeah. So anyway, so you're doing some drawing. Excellent. All right. Well, okay. Well, you do that. Give her that. She can take it. Don't drop it. You'll break it, please. All right. So yeah. So we had an adventure Wednesday night. So the nothing wrong with trackies, Lisa.
Comfy.
As long as you don't get too comfortable and just wear like your the whole outfit. Anyway, so we did this presentation at this wine bar, this Rewind wine bar. There's about 30 people that turned up and had a chat to people.
It was good. It was very intimate setting where we can mingle with them between. We had a bit of a break, had a mingle, had a wine. And at the end of it, we also, or even at the start, we got everyone to sort of introduce themselves and they could ask us questions. They listened to the talk, and then we could mingle with them afterwards. So yeah.
And Lisa said words. It was great because I didn't have the clicker. You know, like we do at the home show where they provide the AV equipment. We took our TV. It was all high tech. We took our TV and connected up the laptop to it.
Well, normally it's Darren up on the stage, and I won't get up on the stage. And well, it's not like you've got it under control. You know what you're saying, and you've rehearsed it enough. So
she was sitting beside with the laptop.
Well, that's another reason why I can't get up on the stage.
Why?
Because you're Mr. Interruptus. So I was up the front at the table doing the clicky thing with the, the slideshow. And because I was up the front, I was able to sort of interject if I had something to say.
And you said words to the people.
All right, honey.
To the masses.
You like to pick on me.
So that's her start. So not this weekend, but next weekend on Saturday morning, we're in the ABC studios in Melbourne and South Bank live for a half-hour radio interview. So
where are we going afterwards? That's what I'm excited about.
And then after that, we have been invited to go up to see and spend a weekend in an enormous 10-meter tiny house. So get this, a 10-meter tiny house, double lofts, full thing. And it weighs apparently under 3.5 ton. So
don't give it all away.
I'm not giving
because we're gonna do another interview and a bit of a tour of that one, so that'll also be up on YouTube.
Yeah, so we're gonna go and see. And who's it been built by? It's been built by a Kiwi. So there must. And so I've gotten it.
I think someone needs a medal.
Anyway, so we're gonna go see this Kiwi bloke, and we're gonna see what he did with his house. And so it's been hauled up to Mount Buller. So he's going to meet us up there. He's just finishing it up. We're going to be the first people to ever stay in it. And so he's going to do an interview, and then he's going to leave us alone for as long as we want, basically, a couple of nights.
Yeah, we only need a couple of nights.
Yeah, so we'll probably stay the Saturday and Sunday night.
And we get to use a composting toilet.
Yeah, so we're going to check out. He wants us to run through the house and, you know, check everything out and give it a good test.
I don't think he actually means run through the house.
Well, I probably will. So that'll be good. So yeah. So that'll be interesting.
What's happening?
So part 2 of the tiny house tour of Ben's will be uploaded overnight.
We're trying to get it done before tonight's live drinks because it would have been nice to have it up, but we need the internet to do this thing, so we had to stop the upload.
Yeah. So
I need another drink.
But it's been interesting after talking to Ben, because for those of you that have seen, well, they haven't seen the video because it's not uploaded yet. But Ben has built this tiny house. It weighs 960 kilograms. That's it. And it's not a full tiny house, as I said, but it's still 4.5 meters long, 3.5 meters tall. It's on a single axle trailer. It was 960 kilograms.
Mm.
And so we talked to him about what he did to save that weight. Helium balloons. You'd think so, Cart, but it's I mean, yeah, like steel frame and a few other tips and tricks that he's used. But it's kind of got me sold on a whole steel frame.
Part of that, the reason why today's topic is about how to reduce weight and cost.
Yeah, so I've recently come across. Now I'm not bagging people, but there's a tiny house.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the compost toilet actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have to clean it at the end or if they come in and clean it.
It's an I think he uses it's an Ecolet or something. It's one of the commercial ones. So
okay.
It'll be all internal. It's not a big bucket.
So not a bucket one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so that conversation yesterday with Ben, along with checking out what Tom has done with his place at our meetup last Sunday, with his little utilitarian pod space for work that he's built, got me thinking there's all these sort of ways you can cut costs, because everyone's looking at these videos on YouTube thinking this is how you build a tiny house. And I came across a build on Instagram in Australia somewhere, and they're kind of following what they're doing in the States. They've got this trailer and they put plywood, then they build a big wooden frame and for the floor, and they're insulating, then they're going to put the subfloor, put plywood on again. Then they did a timber frame and they sheathed the whole thing in plywood. And I'm thinking, oh, God, this is going to be heavy.
I don't think we talk enough about it in the group, maybe.
Yeah. So it's one of the things that we want to cover. And we're not master builders by any stretch, but the fact is that there are things that builders and tiny house builders have told us that you just don't need in Australia.
Yeah, they're over-engineered in America for a reason. It's for their climate. Plus, they can sort of get away with it because of the vehicles that they have over there.
Yeah, and they don't have the weight restrictions. I mean, as some of you may know, we were interviewed by Michelle Boyle from the Tiny House podcast a couple of months ago, and I asked her, I said, what's the deal with the weight? And they said, as long as your truck and tiny house is less than 25,000 pounds, which is like 11 ton, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
And of course, those big.
But we're learning. You don't need the plywood. You don't need you don't even need to sheathe underneath. Some people are just gluing styrofoam underneath. But we covered that last week anyway, didn't we? Yeah.
So that was one of the tips which I'm going to experiment with. I think with future builds. So, and there's a builder that we met after the Melbourne Home Show who's going to be doing that very thing. Looking at, I want to build a house. He said, I'm going to get rid of all the stuff that you see on YouTube that you don't really need from a structural point of view. So things like sheathing underneath, not only is it a pain in the ass job, but let's face it, it's extra weight and it's extra money and extra time.
And it's interesting when we interview Tom. So hopefully in Bendigo he might bring his little
maybe we can do a
portable, transportable.
His only weighs like 700 kilograms.
What does he call it?
It's his work. I don't know, work utility space.
Yeah.
He sells books to schools, and so he's built it as a pod for work, but it could very easily transform it into a shelter, a study pod, an office, mobile office.
So yeah, when we do that interview, we'll ask him what framing he used, and I'm wondering whether it was the same sort of metal framing or steel framing that Ben used.
Yeah, because Ben just got his steel frame from Bunnings.
Yeah. So Ben, who we interviewed on Wednesday, which is up, well, it'll be up tonight.
The interview's up online already.
Yeah, the interview's up, but the tour is going to be uploaded tonight.
Yeah.
He talks about how he went to Bunnings and got some steel framing from there. So I wonder if it's the same sort of stuff that Tom did.
Yeah, it means you'd have to measure it and cut it and join it all yourself, but it's
but those what they use is very good for the size that they've built for. I wouldn't recommend it for a 9 meter like mine, but something
having said
5
that,
meters.
Yeah, having said that, the build, and I knew it was a big one, and I spotted this build, the one that we're going to go up to see in Mount Buller. I knew it was a large one, and we spotted this thing on Instagram initially, like a couple of months ago, and I connected up with Carl, and I knew it was big, and I asked him today, I got on the phone with him, I said, how big is this thing?
Yeah, we weren't sure if it was like 8 or 9, but it turned out
he said it's 11.2 meters long.
Is the bed 10 meters though?
The deck is 10 meters.
10 meters.
And it's
I'm going to do no, I can't do cartwheels.
No, you'll break your wrist. 10 meters long, double lofts, 4 God knows what high, probably 4.2 high. And the whole thing is under 3.5 ton, he reckons. So there is a couple of tricks he's used. He hasn't used timber framing. And surprise, surprise, he hasn't actually used steel framing either. So I'm not going to reveal any more than that. But
I wasn't really paying attention to the conversation today. So
yeah,
I guess I'll have to look forward to the interview myself as well.
Yeah, but he said it was so easy to go up and it was so quick. And
yeah, interesting. Darren's been following through on some of the quotes and just following up on some of those leads, and a couple of them have gone and got secondhand trailers, or they went through another friend or
bastards. They've gone to someone else for their trailer, but that's okay.
But we've checked their builds out, and one's doing a floor on top of the trailer. So
yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Okay.
Was they're following the YouTube American example, sheathing everything, and it looks like a big trailer too.
Yeah.
But
they're building it in the suburbs as well, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see how they go.
So yeah, I've been following up our trailer inquiries and trailer quotes, because we're not expecting everyone to buy a trailer from us, and that's fine. But those that don't, I've sort of said, how are you going with your trailer? But oh yeah, I've already got a trailer. I'm halfway through. Oh great, potential interview. Where are you? We'd love to come out and check out what you're doing, because we know what will inspire.
Yeah, we don't hold any grudges if anyone else, if they go and buy a trailer somewhere else.
Yeah, well, I do, but so
don't be silly.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He's talking. You talk shit.
Yeah, nice.
So, hi guys. Sorry, that's okay, Helen.
Hey, Helen, how you doing?
Thanks for joining in.
So yeah, we've been learning sort of bits and pieces about, not only from a structural point of view, just what you don't need. You don't need to. There's so many people that have told us now. Regular builders, as well as people that have actually gone through the process and built a tiny house, you don't need to sheathe the thing in plywood. We're even having doubts now whether you need to sheathe underneath. That'll save weight.
Hi, Winston.
Hey, Winston. Hey, big fella. And so, yeah, lots of other things. I mean, things like using the type of cladding that you choose to use as a bracing material. I mean, the steel frame, as Ben said, okay, he used the steel frame without giving too much away. But once it was all locked in, once the four walls were on and the roof was on, it was all pretty
nice and tight.
It was all pretty tight, and he did brace it with some diagonals. But then when you use things like corrugated iron cladding, and did he go vertical or horizontal? I think it was horizontal.
Cladding.
Yeah, he used horizontal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's used that, and he's used some cedar. I'm not going to give too much away. Having said that, you can see there's a picture that I put a couple of days ago up of the tiny house, and it's got cedar which has been treated and burnt using the traditional.
I don't know if it was an aluminium frame. He just said he got it from Bunnings, so maybe it's not.
Oh, the frame. The frame was a steel frame from Bunnings. The trailer was $100.
Yeah, you're giving too much of the interview away.
Oh, sorry.
Shh. Don't stop talking, because you've got it.
Anyway, so it's an old manky trailer. Even though we do amazingly good trailers, we can't compete with $100.
It was a caravan chassis, and
I think so. No, it was an old boat trailer, maybe.
No, he bought
Tom's.
a caravan.
No, that was his first one. This particular one he found on the side of the road, it was just some manky, shitty trailer that he bought for $100.
Okay.
But and that's the thing. If you're building like a little one, like a little shelter, like Tom's done or Ben's done, something. If you're doing like an 8-meter tiny house, get a brand spanking new trailer, whether you get it from us or anyone else. But if you're doing like a little shelter, a little cabin, then yeah, like we're talking about doing a teardrop, then I'd happily build a teardrop on an old.
Darren was talking about going to some tips and checking out the junk that they've got there.
Yeah, we're going to go to tip shops.
I didn't know there were such a thing as tip shops. Are they actually
have 3 wines and say tip shops?
No. Are they? So is there an actual shop at the tip?
Yeah, it is. So what they do is it's either when you take your stuff to the tip, if it's stuff you don't really want to chuck in the hole, you can actually say, well, I'll just donate to this to you guys. Or it might be stuff that the council workers have actually pulled out of the tip saying, why are people chucking this out? It's perfectly good. And there's building supplies and stuff as well. I've never been, but but there's some around. So we're gonna go check it out and more fodder for.
Believe it or not, we've only just started with our wines. I think that's why I'm a little bit. Once I have one, I should be right. I'll start to flow.
Have another drink down. 2 drinks and I'll be anyway.
What are you guys drinking? You having a drink?
This is so much easier than getting in a car and doing a 200-kilometre round trip to Melbourne.
Yeah, but I kind of like getting out of the house and meeting new people.
Yeah, that's true. So. And I kind of like it when your bottom half matches the top half.
I haven't been to a tip shop. As a kid, I used to go to the tip all the time with my dad, but I haven't visited a tip in I don't know how long.
For those in Melbourne, there is a few around, and so hopefully we'll get to a few of these.
Hallam. Okay, there's one in Hallam.
Yep, there's one in Hallam. There's one in Knox. Apparently, there's one in Darebin. So, so we're going to go and check those out, and then.
When was our meetup? Was our meetup just the Sunday gone?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about the meetup, or?
We had it at the Pascoe Vale RSL. The venue was fine, but I was a bit slack in promoting it. Hence, we only got sort of 6 or 8 people, which for us is a bit of a small-ish.
It was turnout. It was a bit of a cold day, and
a bit of miserable weather. But Tom brought his little his truck and his little boat trailer utility space along, which is good. And we don't want to give too much away, but because we are wanting to do an interview with Tom, but it's cost him bugger all. And steel frame from Bunnings, use some core flutes and treated pine cladding, and put it all together. Tip shop at Tyab, says Leonie. Tyab, where's that? That's down in Mornington Peninsula somewhere, I think.
The nasty bastards that every time Lisa yells at Darren, have another drink. We drink.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
So what other tips have we seen or heard about saving weight?
Well, I don't know. It was a topic. Darren put up this post on the topic of the day, or of tonight's topic. What is it, 3 a.m? I was in bed asleep, and he tells me, "Oh, so we're going to discuss this tonight." It's like, are we? I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
You should do.
No, I know a little bit, but not a lot.
Well, as I was talking about with Ben, Ben's used a lot of recycled materials in his build, as a lot of people want to do. And I actually some of you might remember, I put the question out in the group a couple of months ago. Ideally, in a perfect world, would you like to just buy everything brand new, or would you like to use as much recycled and reclaimed material as possible? And a lot of people out there that responded said they would like to use reclaimed, recycled materials.
When we spoke to Ben, Darren asked him, where do you get or do you prefer eBay or Gumtree? And he said, well, Gumtree's cheaper because generally eBay people are just trying to sell to make a bit of money.
Yeah, they're more in it for money,
whereas
Gumtree,
they're just wanting to get rid of it. So that was good to know.
Yeah, but he's used some he's used stuff from old wine cabinets.
But Darren knows a lot more about it. He's the one that sort of researches a lot of that kind of thing.
Fisher and Paykel washing machine door. I like that.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I reckon you guys might like the tour. I've put a couple of little words throughout the video saying hello to Deke and a couple other things. I think adding my little flavour to it.
Yeah. So we'll have to do that. Also, just as a bit of a heads up, nothing's confirmed as yet, of course, but we are talking to one of the large names. So
you don't drink?
Big names.
You gave up drinking when Gusling came along. Came alone, sorry. Oh, dear.
In other words, he felt it was a little bit pathetic to maybe be sitting there drinking alone. Maybe. I don't know. I drink alone sometimes.
When are you alone?
Yeah, good point. But what I was going to say, just as a heads up, don't get too excited because nothing's confirmed at all yet, but we are talking to one of the large names, the big names in the tiny house community overseas, about getting them over for an international Tiny Houses Australia international workshop, hands-on workshop. We're just talking to potential venues. In fact, there's about half a dozen people that I've approached that are dead keen to come over. So we'll get a few of those out next year.
But with the meetup, I just wanted to sort of ask you guys, because this was brought up at the meetup, about having some sort of forum to talk about getting sort of councils on board, among other things as well, because at the moment it's Tiny Houses Australia is just the two of us with all you wonderful people.
Yeah.
And we find ourselves getting busier and busier.
It's got a tight leash.
And though there is sort of a business side aspect to what we're doing, like selling the trailers or if any workshops that we do.
Yeah, I mean, as we discussed
key
before.
speaking events. He's had one paid speaking event. Everything else has been just volunteering our time, making the most of the home shows.
Luckily, the one paid event was $30,000.
You wish.
It wasn't.
You wish.
But yeah, so there's going to, as you guys heard us talk before, there's going to be some paid events. There's going to be some paid, is this big guy a Yankee or a Kiwi? No, it's American Leone. Not saying any details. But yeah, we're going to run some paid workshops.
But there is a Kiwi who's also interested. We've spoken to him too. He loves it. Are you going to do that in front of him when you see him?
This is an amazing space.
I'm going to. If he ever gets together with Bryce for an interview, I wonder if we'll see if he takes him on.
Bryce, thank you for having the time to.
Yeah,
he's all right. He probably takes the piss out of me.
I hope he will.
Yeah. No.
That'll be fun.
So yeah, we're going to be running obviously some paid hands-on tiny house building workshops, but there's also going to be some come sit, watch, learn, listen seminars as well. So with us, there's going to be a distinction between workshops and seminars. So
back to my question, what do you guys want to see aside from us running around with like headless chooks? Where do you see the movement in general going, and where do you see Tiny Houses Australia going, and what do you think would be good for Tiny Houses Australia? While I try and wrap my mind around everything, I'm asking because there's so many different directions Darren and I can take with it. And we know with the following that we do have, it isn't all about just Darren and I, even though Darren created the accounts, and yes, it's largely, Darren's baby, but
no, it's not. You've been on the horse long
enough.
I don't
mean you and me. I mean the following we have. It is a community as well. Hate it when people say it's not a community. It's a community.
Yeah, we just have rules. Every community has rules.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Every community. Name one community that doesn't have any rules.
Yeah, established by the people that set the community up.
Even the Boy Scouts have rules. Even the Lions Club probably has rules.
Yeah,
the Men's Shed probably has rules. So, every community has rules. So we'll get past that. Yeah. But I would love the community to get involved in some way, shape or form.
So we do want to have a paid workshop. Seminar. Probably seminars will be up and running first. And we will get guest speakers. We're going to there's a couple of carpenters and builders that we're going to be working with. So we will have someone talking about the builder side of things. I'm happy to talk about the trailers. We'll get someone talking about sort of the recycled, reclaimed aspect of what you can do. Hi, Vicky,
no worries.
What you can do to minimise.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Vicky, and hey, Jackie as well. Kia ora from Jackie. She must be a Kiwi like me.
So Helen's saying, I think all of us here are definitely on board to get behind you guys in terms of paid workshops. Leonie agrees.
Yep.
Also, Leonie suggested an interview on Insight about the housing crisis. Good idea.
Yep.
Yeah, Leonie said life has rules. Yep. There's laws.
That's it. So we're going to have some guest speakers talking about some of the the practical aspects of going down this path of building a tiny house, but we also want to have a bit of an open forum discussion. We don't really know what to call it, where we maybe have it at a venue and we invite from what I gather Lisa's thinking, we invite representatives from different councils to come along and give their thoughts about the whole tiny house movement, where they think what issues they could have with the tiny house, and maybe we can address some of those.
Yeah, Tom's a regular at our meetups, and he's a thinker. He's a bit of an innovator, and
I'm a thinker.
Yeah, but he's an innovator.
I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A warrior or a warrior?
My panic attacker.
Panic attacker.
Panic. Anyway, don't worry. Anyway, you were saying?
I don't know. I'm like a goldfish, remember? What was I saying?
Tom, is it?
Yeah, so
apparently.
he is a regular at our meetups, and we did do a little bit of an interview with him at one of the meetups, which I will put up.
We might just do a proper one.
No, I'm going to include that. I'm going to include that one. It was a couple of months ago, but I'm just going to do a bit of a vlog about all the meetups, sort of mash them all together.
It was a bit shit, though.
No, it wasn't.
Well, I was a bit shit.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. I'm very critical of myself. Yeah.
So you'll get to sort of see Tom in one of the videos that we're going to be uploading.
Yeah.
But it was his suggestion and he and I have been sort of talking about it, and we're kind of running around this idea in our heads for a while. But we are going to book a venue. We are going to set a date, and then we're going to start pulling some people in. And Tom said there's a group of people that he's going to talk to in relation to getting the council on board.
Yeah.
So
because what I might even try and do, and I'm not Facebook friends with them yet, but I'm going to connect up. They know who I am and I know who they are. But the people behind the Living Tiny Legally documentaries, what I want to do at this event is actually see if we can organise and get their permission to play the two, at least one, if not two, of the presentations, because then the guests that come along can actually, the people from the council can see how they're addressing these issues in the States. Because even though what I'm about to say is not going to be ready by the time we have this forum seminar thing, but this display house that we're putting together, I'm more than happy to have council representatives crawling all over that. So we'll take it to them, or when we take it to a home show or a sustainability festival, whatever, I'll invite every man and his dog from councils to come and crawl all over it and say, right, tell me what are the issues that you have if this was in your council region.
Speaking of that, the Rewind Bar, unfortunately it is here in Melbourne and it's not for everyone, but there is a solar talk happening at the Rewind Bar next month.
I can't remember what company it is, but we'll have to connect up with them as well.
The solar guy that we've been talking with, he's Mike, and he's up in
Lismore.
We need to get that up on the website.
Yeah, he's starting to run
his website's workshops up and running, so we've had a bit of a hiccup.
24hoursolar.com for Mike Hayden.
So let me just tell a story. So Wednesday was a big day with the interview and the Rewind talk, and then on our way home that night, the car exploded. So luckily, it wasn't smoke; it was just steam. What was it? The heater valves.
The heater core has failed in my Ford Focus.
So we're heading back. We're on the highway heading home, and it just
something goes bang, and this smoke and shit starts coming out of the dash. I'm going, oh my God.
Yeah. So yesterday's day was pretty much wasted in terms of the work that we had planned to do in terms of getting things up and running up on the website, and that includes Mike's website and a couple of listings that we've said that we're going to put up, because it was spent sort of running around trying to fix your car. And
$200 to join the RACB again, because when you join when you need it, they stick you up for 2 years, and then another $120 or something to get the car towed back home. And then my local mechanic come around tomorrow and says, ooh, shit.
Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. It's just that I can see the comments and I laugh occasionally. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so I'm up for like $1,500 and new heater.
So it's sort of thrown the spanner in the works, but
maybe I'll start a crowdfunding
campaign. Such as life.
Help the Kiwi.
So yeah, we ended up getting a tow truck to picking us up, bringing the car home, dropping us off.
Lucky I've got the trusty Mazda 121, the 1995 121 that I can drive. Yeah. It feels weird and floppy.
We haven't picked a date just yet. I want to sort of run past Tom. Tom's wanting to talk to these people first, just so we know that they are on board. We were looking at different venues, and one of those venues is, or two venues we're looking at is. I
don't think we should reveal it until we got
the forum.
Yeah, we haven't worked it out yet.
Yeah, but this is just a discussion.
Yeah, but we don't need to. Anyway, so there's
ECOS.
I don't think we need to discuss it. I don't care. I'm just going to reveal it. Oh, ECOS.
The ECOS.
Oh, fine. Let's go there. The Yarra Valley ECOS
Yeah.
Environmental Village in Melbourne.
We're just thinking we'll pick a venue there. Otherwise, it's the other one.
We're talking to them about the possibility of running a workshop.
No, but I wasn't going there. I was talking about the forum.
Well, I never mentioned the forum to them. I talked to them about the possibility of running
No,
workshops.
but I'm talking about the forum. This is how we communicate. We sort of end up meeting in the middle at some point and agreeing on something, don't we?
I just didn't admit that you're right.
I am. I'm always right.
So anyway, there's a lot of there's a half a dozen potential venues for a potential workshop or seminars.
What about Sirius?
It's not serious. It's not called Sirius. For those that are in Melbourne, Ceres Environmental Park in
Is it Sirius?
in Brunswick. I just showed her the website the other day. So what's that? Never heard of it.
Ceres.
Yeah, is it serious? I said yes. So
how do you pronounce it?
Ceres.
Ceres.
Ceres or Ceres. Yeah. It's not serious. Jesus Christ. Anyway. So
yeah, just looking at a couple of venues, like because they have halls and stuff to hire out. So
yeah, well, Yarra Valley
like
ECOS has got communal kitchen. They're used to running workshops. There's camping on the land.
Environmentally friendly, sustainable, all about living simply. And
there's 4 guys and their partners that have also just started a tiny house building business as well. So we're going to be going out and interviewing them when we go out and see Murray. We're going to be for part 2 of Murray's tiny house tour at the Tall.
I can read it. I can't pronounce it. Sears.
Anyway,
Serious.
Don't embarrass yourself, dear. Near Geelong. Steam's good, smoke bad. Yeah, okay. Well, it turned out to be steam, apparently. But
you should have seen me. I opened the door while the car was still going. It's like, get me out of here.
It was coming out of the dash. I was like, what the fuck's going on? It was coming out through the steering wheel. I'm jumping out the car on the freeway. And anyway. So, yeah, but apparently it's nothing that I did wrong. It's just one of these things that the heater core should last the life of the vehicle, but this one bloody didn't. So it's just, life kicking me in the face again.
Honey, it does everyone. Everyone has their turn.
Yeah, but it just doesn't seem to let me sort of heal. It just kick you in the face. Oh, you're almost ready? Oh, I'll kick you in the face again. So anyway.
Oh, dear.
Sirius has a Facebook page if people are interested to look them up. Yeah, so we've got to go out and connect up with Sirius. I haven't actually spoken to them yet, Winston, but we did speak to Tom Neal from the Yarra Valley ECOS, and lovely guy. So we're going to be connecting up with them.
So they're keen to sort of work with us in terms of running some workshops. So, but as in terms of a venue for forums and stuff, both are good, and we can rotate them around depending on.
There's a few venues that we're looking at that would be good for venues. We don't just want to pick one venue. We want to work with 3 or 4 different groups and organisations. We'd
like to be able to sort of connect with these other organisations and help spread the word about what they're doing as well.
Yeah.
Because it's, as you all know, a tiny house is just, as Zach Giffen says, it's a tool. Whereas it's,
you call me a tool sometimes.
It's all about the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And same with the new Joneses, that they're spreading the word about minimalism and environmental.
Well, the new Jones is more about leading a sustainable life. Everything from the type of the particular bank that you choose to bank with, what products you use to clean, household cleaners, all the way to.
I love the Yarra Valley. I went hot air ballooning over the Yarra Valley nearly 12 years ago. It was my 30th.
I've never been hot air ballooning. I think I would scream.
No, it's
like
beautiful.
A baby.
It's completely peaceful. Unless.
Until you hit the ground, yeah.
No, it was good. It was good.
It's not the fall that hurts. It's just the sudden stop at the end. Anyway, so.
No, you know what? No, it's the fall. I would be freaking out the whole way.
Yeah.
So it does hurt.
So Wine Country Tiny House Tour says the Nasty Bastard. Yeah, look, this we did run the idea of we raised the idea a little while ago of a mystery tour where we sort of put the Guantanamo Bay sort of cloth bags over the head.
You just
and,
need a blindfold, darling. You don't need to. We'll get.
Well, it wasn't the orange jumpsuits and the bag over there.
We'll sell Tiny Houses Australia eye bands or sleeping.
What about Tiny Houses Australia orange jumpsuits? Would that be? Anyway.
No, they'd have to be navy blue.
Because we're
or white. White.
Shut up! Like a forensic scientist. Because we were talking about because a lot of the people, as you know, the tiny houses that are being built in Australia at the moment, they're people's personal private homes, and a lot of people, understandably so, they don't want to reveal to strangers where they live, because a lot of them are under the radar.
I don't know if you've noticed that if anyone asks in the group, is there anyone out there who has a tiny house? I'd love to come and have a look. They get crickets. No one really
and that's understandable. And we kind of end up directing them to people like Grant at Designer Echo Tiny Homes, or the Tiny House Company in Brisbane, the building companies that might have a display up and running.
I think we covered this last week. Either go to a building company or go to an Airbnb, or go to an Airbnb site or some sort and find an Airbnb that's listed.
I like Helen. And the Frisbees, as she said, yes, we're going to get the Frisbees going. So
as you can see, there's a lot of ideas, and that's why I want this forum along with Tom and sort of.
Well, there's a lot of people that have that maverick approach of, bugger the city councils, I don't care, I'm just going to do it. And that's fine. And a lot of people, including us, are happy to do that. But a lot of people want that big tick of approval from the council. Because, as I might have mentioned before, the shining example is Fresno, California. Now, Fresno in California is the first county in the states to legitimize tiny houses on wheels. So you can take a tiny house on wheels, put it in the backyard of an existing residential house, and someone who's not related to the people in the big house can rent that out as a permanent full-time house. And that's the golden.
You all right?
Yeah. I'm fine.
Do you need to be burped?
No, I'm not a baby mother. But that's the golden nugget in terms of, in my opinion, that's what Australia should have. Because, and tell me if I'm wrong, but if the government or the councils across Australia said, okay, yes, that's what we're going to allow you to do. We're going to let a non-related person live permanently in the backyard of an existing house in a tiny house on wheels, granny flat. So yes, house on wheels, we'll call that a granny flat, and it's legal, and you can live there permanently, even if you're not related. That's the golden nugget. And if there was restrictions associated with that, like it had to be a single level place, or it had to be a certain minimum size or maximum size, no bigger than a certain size.
Yeah, Vicky, I agree. Well, that's why Darren and I want to get around and do these interviews and tiny house tours, like on YouTube.
Yeah.
For instance, we got some images sent to us yesterday. Asked us not to share them. He's just sharing them with us.
Yeah. Looks good though.
He admitted that they're not on social media much. They're a bit shy.
Because they don't want everyone going, oh, no, you're doing this wrong, that shit. No, you've got to do it like that. That's not the right way.
And that's the thing. We respect people who want their privacy and but we are going to try and do this mystery tour again. And yes, it will be Melbourne-based because we are Melbourne-based. However,
it will be a paid event. Why? Because we've got to hire a 12-seater bus.
A couple of years ago, we did try and expand, a bit of sin in the butt. But we're going to try again. Cart, looking at you. We're probably going to invite Cart because he's been a long time follower, long time pain in the ass. As what do you call it?
The moderator.
Like a moderator for the group.
And he might be managing and running he doesn't know it yet, but we're going to offer him the opportunity of running our Tiny Houses Australia Southeast Queensland meetup. So
yeah. And if we can get that up and running, then maybe we can have a mystery bus tour happening up there as well.
Yeah.
Because it is Tiny Houses Australia and it is, as you know, a large following.
Yeah.
We want to be able to offer services across the board, not just because we live in Melbourne, not just based here in Victoria. So we want to be able to offer workshops, mystery tours, meetups across the board. So.
That's a good point. Vicky Creates made a good point of maybe if we can't get to the people, maybe the people could do a video of their home and a bit of a walkthrough.
Yeah, true.
And talking about the background of their build and what they did and why they did it, and send it to us, which is what I believe a lot of people do for tiny house listings.
Yeah,
Stephen
I've
Harrell's,
noticed that he's gone in that direction.
Yeah,
the ones that he can't get to, he hosts their video.
And for Deke as well, a lot of people do a tiny house tour and they send it to Deke and say, hey, Deke, I did a tour of my house. Do you want us to get up on your channel? So if any of you guys are out there that have got a tiny house and you want to do a little video and send it to us, if you're in Victoria or within 3, 4, 5 hours drive of Victoria or Melbourne, we'll come and see you. But if you're other side of the country, then if you're willing to do a video, great. But when we do these video tours for YouTube, you know, we are quite happy. We
love Deke too.
We're not going to reveal where people are. So it'll be like, hey, this is Susie from somewhere in New South Wales. And in fact, if you want, we can even change your names. And if you don't want to be in the video at all, then we can do the video and we'll just walk through the house and say, look, the owner of this place wants to keep your privacy, but this is the place, isn't it wonderful? And we can talk about the house. So all that sort of stuff. But there's a couple of people that are interested in being involved in a bit of a mystery tour thing. Yeah. And if they do want to keep their...
Look, when we first put the call out, it was over a year ago now, and we had 2, maybe 3 put their hand up. Yeah, we're happy to do that.
Yeah.
But there's so many more builds happening now and so many more builds completed now that we might get a few more hands up. So it might be worth putting together.
Yeah, and there's people. So there's plenty of people that we've got lined up to interview, whether they're our trailer customers or not. I mean, I actually want to go out and interview people. I don't just want to wait until they're finished here, show off the glitzy. This is my beautiful tiny house. I want to go and interview people when they're sort of half, 3/4 of the way through it.
He likes to create more work for himself.
You're the editor.
Yeah, and for me.
But I want to go out and see people because I think that's what the community want to see. They want to see, right, where are people at? What have they used? This show us so we can actually visually see where they're at with the framing. It's an open frame. This is where they're at. What are they using? What have they done? What have they learnt? What mistakes have they made? What have they done right? What have they done wrong? And then we'll go back again once they're finished.
Don't forget, guys, if you've got any questions, ask away, or any thoughts. They don't have to be questions, any thoughts. Just we can see what you're typing. So. And
let us know if there's any people that you want us to interview. I asked this question in the group and on the page last week, but very few people seem to be throwing any names at us. But without blowing my trumpet, I am well connected.
George Clark. There's a few people saying, yep.
Really?
Notice silence.
Should I tell them about the dream where you fell in love with George Clark and left me and ran off with George
Clark? I didn't leave him. I didn't leave you.
You just had an affair with George Clark?
No, not even an affair. We admitted we loved each other and we both had to part ways because he was married and I was dating you, and that was a bit sad. It was just a dream. Shall I tell him about the dream you had about Sandra Bullock?
Probably not. Anyway, so...
He's got a plant called Sandra, so I might call my house George.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Because of the size.
If we do ever get George on video, you're just going to be all fucking...
I know you're going to... You will make me blush on purpose.
Anyway, so yeah, if there's any ones that you... If there's any... Just people in the tiny house community anywhere in the world that you want us to try and interview, let us know. Someone has already suggested Jewel Pearson from I forgot the Facebook page, the lady from the States who's got the tiny house with the big round window. She was on Tiny House Station, I think, but
I'm not sure.
Anyway, so yeah, we're going to be trying to interview her. I have connected up with her as a Facebook friend, so we'll connect up with her. We're going to organise. We're just going to organise.
You don't know, Winston? I have no idea. Do you know anything about the tires?
Tires on the trailers, they should be fine as long as you when you get the trailer, jack it up off the ground. Ours is out the back through those windows, out in the dark, and it's about 6 inches off the ground. As long as the pressure's off the tires, and we haven't done it yet, but we're just going to go and get some cheap wheel covers and just wrap them up.
Yeah, I think it's not his looks so much, it's his accent and demeanor, and yeah, you're right, he's enthusiastic.
I'm not?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so tiny. Oh, let's have a look, shall we? No, I'm not. Anyway, everyone likes George. Yeah. Yay, George. I'll just.
Leonie and her mum fighting over him.
Anyway.
My crush, oh God, Dr. House. I used to have a huge crush on him. I don't know what it was.
He's not the tiny house.
He's not really my type, but.
Can I try and interview Christy Wolf then?
Yeah, go for it. Look at the smile.
Well, anyway, she doesn't even know who I am yet.
Yet. Yeah, I heard that. He's divorced. He was in New Zealand. Darn it.
Is Sandra still married?
Jackie, it's not yet being built. We've just got the trailer out the back. I am going to put together a little teaser, having the trailer arrived and us measuring it and talking about the jacks and that kind of thing. So I got footage for all of that.
The town that we moved to in the Mason Ranges, we moved in June, and it just felt like it rained like for 3 months non-stop. So we want to wait until spring, and we'll just get it to lock-up stage. That's the first step. So.
Oh, no. So I've got the same taste as Leonie's mum.
Yeah.
So Mary, she loves Dr. House as well.
Yeah. So
Dr. House in a Tiny House now. There is a show I'd like to watch.
Yeah. But there's a few people that we've approached about trying to get out here. Andrew and Gabriella Morris, and they're keen. They're just super busy with their seminars. We've talked to.
Hi, Lindy.
Hey, Lindy. How you doing? We've talked to Dan Paquette from Tiny House Customs.
We sort of went through that last week.
Yeah, he's keen to get over. We're going to get Bryce over to do something with Bryce.
Bryce, we're in a bit of a what do you call it? Race. We're in a bit of a race to beat Bryce because we know he's
seriously. He's got 370,000 subscribers on YouTube. No. I've got 700.
Yeah, but he started 3 years ago.
It's not much of a race at the moment.
He started 3 years ago. No, he's over in America. He's just come back from Japan. He's now over in America. He's going to come to Australia next. So we better do some more interviews before he comes up.
We'll just tell him he's not welcome.
No, I reckon we'll just
You'll say, Darren, do you know anyone I can interview? No. Can't think of anyone, actually.
I'm sure he's already got a massive list, and he knows, and he's contacted them all. It's all right. He can do his thing, and we'll still do our thing.
Yeah, Lisa has this
Watching
idea.
You, Bryce.
Yeah, Bryce. Lisa thinks that somehow we're going to catch you on YouTube with your subscribers.
No, he'll always be ahead, but.
Oh, thanks very much.
I'm saying
I've got the hair for
he started somewhere, and he only started 3 years ago, and look where he's at now. It doesn't take much. You just got to start, and you just got to be consistent.
Aussie Man Reviews only started 3 years ago. He's got 1.3 million subscribers.
Darren just discovered his YouTube channel. I don't know if any of you have heard of him. But...
Aussie Man Reviews. Anyway, we won't talk about that. Yeah, so Dan and Peanut, we probably won't get Peanut over Cart, but Dan's keen to get over.
Yeah, they won't. He wouldn't come through customs.
No, he'd have to be in quarantine for months. Yeah. So there's a few people that we're looking at getting over, but in a much more easier fashion, we're going to be doing some YouTube live interviews with people around the world as well.
Does anyone know how Cart might? I don't know, because we're doing this whole live thing. Is there scope to add another screen where we can interview someone?
Yeah, we just got to add. We just go to invite people.
Well,
Cart, have you got your webcam on? He's probably sitting there naked with a beer or something.
With his burnt belly.
Relax into wellness. Hi guys.
Hi.
Relax into wellness. Is that Robin?
Yep.
Hey Robin. Robin came around our house. She's in town.
Hi, Robin.
Hey, Robin.
I hope it's Robin.
I think
Tell us it's Robin.
Yeah, it is Robin. Pokey Pickle. Hey, Pokey Pickle. We're at 15 people on board. This is a record.
Oh, we had up to 20 at one point.
Yeah, I know.
Hi. I'm yet to call you Robin.
There we go.
I haven't forgotten. Just
So
been busy.
yeah, so lots of things happening, but yeah, so there's tips and things that we've learned about how to sort of things that are happening in the States in terms of building a tiny house that we really, it's kind of over engineering we don't need here. Products that we're checking out that are just lighter weight materials, because let's face it, with a 4.5 ton weight restriction, we've got to look at lighter weight options. But interestingly, from a cost saving point of view as well, not forgetting weight for a moment, there's a lot of videos that Deke has done. Deke has actually done one video on his YouTube channel I saw a couple of years ago, I remember, where he took like 75 different or 30 different items, and he said, this is how I use this. This is how you could use this. All these alternative uses for just junk and stuff around the shed. And I know that Ben, when we release the video tomorrow of Ben's tiny house tour, he's used some interesting stuff from Gumtree and scrap yards and side of the road.
And this is why he went on this whole tip shop spree on the internet the other day.
Yeah, because I reckon it'd be interesting to see. Let's face it, we're all on a budget. If we can do I mean, everyone spends a different amount on their tiny house. I mean, there's a tiny house that we're booked in to go see, and it cost the guy $90,000, and it's because he was building it as his own personal home.
Cart wants us to interview Doctor Who because he lives in a tiny house.
Yeah, that'd be right. So
only if it's the original Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so long gone.
You can, considering the average Australian house price is $600 and something thousand, for someone to go spend $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 on a house, I mean, it's not outlandish if that's going to be your forever home and that's it, you're done and it's finished. But, you know, I've seen, I mean, Murray from the Tall Tiner, he spent $14,000 on his. A lot of recycled materials. As Ben said yesterday, though, there's a trade-off, because you can either just go out and buy everything new, or you can find things off the side of the road or Gumtree or eBay.
Yeah, again, time versus money. So
yeah, and I mean, the door that Ben got for his tiny house, he got it off Gumtree or whatever. Then he spent hours sanding it down and stripping it and reworking it. So Winston's saying he's interested as Tesla solar tiles might be appropriate. They've only just literally been released, I think, days ago.
And I'm sure Australia's on a wait list. So
apparently we've all heard that Elon Musk does reply to tweets and stuff. So I'm going to start tweeting them and harassing them, I think. Right.
Everyone in the Tiny Houses Australia community, start tweeting him.
Yeah, and tell them everyone tell them they're going to come and speak to me about getting the solar.
Well, Darren and I are building 2 houses, and we plan to put them together on the property that we end up. We don't know where we're going to end up, but wherever we end up, we're having the 2
we'll have
tiny
2
houses.
kind of like that.
Plus, we've got a caravan. So
and we want to build a tiny house.
Another
sorry, a teardrop.
A teardrop.
Yeah. Well, the theory is that when she gets sick of me and she ends the relationship, she can go off with her house and I can go off with the display house. Unless you
he's always trying to break us up.
Unless you lay claim to that.
You keep putting it out there in the universe. It might happen. You've got to stop that. You've got to think positive.
No, we'll be together forever. You'll be putting up with me forever. I haven't asked you yet. But anyway, so, yeah, so there's lots of things that are around that you can save money, and it can still look really classy as well. There was
what hashtag should we use when message Elon. Message
Ellen as well, from Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres.
He picks on me. I always get things. See, this is why I won't get up on stage, because he picks on me.
Yeah, people message Ellen as well. Ellen DeGeneres. Tell her. Elon. Message Elon and Ellen.
That's a strange name. I hadn't heard that name before.
That's it.
Elon.
Separate. Got to have room for George. Bex. I don't like her. Can we ban her from these Friday night sessions? I want 2 with the deck joining them. Good point. I haven't. Yeah, see, Winston understands the bloke's going to have an exit strategy just in case he has a plan B.
He thinks it's me with the exit strategy, but no.
Yeah. So whenever I play out, she just brings up George. Whenever I play out,
I play on it because I know it affects him.
Yeah. Anyway, so
what's her name? Sandra Bullock.
Oh,
I don't look anything like Sandra Bullock.
Is
I'm
it?
short. I'm blonde.
Small feet.
I'm round.
You're gorgeous. Shut up. Anyway, so yeah. So the idea, actually, we haven't.
Darn it.
We're way behind with the tiny house.
I think you were off looking for one, weren't you, nasty bastard? And looking for a webcam. Anyone got a webcam? Any of
There's
you
a
want to
delayed
join
reaction.
us?
I asked him about half an hour ago if he's got a webcam. If anyone else is
webcam.
if anyone else is in their YouTube, in their Google account and got a webcam, let us know if you want to pop in and say hi face to face.
Also, you know we're on Friday night, so any of you who would like to jump on as well, just let us know.
Yeah, because people are going to get sick of seeing us.
Yeah, it'd be good to have another face to look at, not just us.
But we've been really behind in the Tiny House Nation series because they've done like 70 builds now, and I've seen the first 1 or 2 series. But from this idea of two houses with a deck joining them that Vicky talked about, I believe one of the last builds in the last series of Tiny House Nation, they had, this is the one that Mel liked. This is the house that Mel liked. They had 2 tiny houses parked next to each other with a big covered deck, like an enclosed glass.
Like a glass roof. It was.
Yeah. So that's a good option. And if people want to expand, if it's a young couple and they want to they like the idea of a tiny house, get one.
Leonie, do you want to join us? You can join us now if you like, if you're game.
Yeah, I haven't met Leonie. So I wonder how you do it. So if we were to invite people, so we just need an email address.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So.
Oh, she can't. She probably doesn't want to give that out.
Well, she could message you on Facebook. What the email? Anyway, if anyone wants to join us,
no pressure.
just message us the. You can either
so
do
does
it in
Helen.
advance. There we go. So if anyone,
here you go. Relax. Robin says, "Relax into wellness." Is Robin says, "Do a hashtag Tiny Houses Australia." That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just hashtag Tiny Houses Australia to Elon
and Ellen. Ellen's got.
Wouldn't that be funny, Ellen DeGeneres? I wonder if she likes tiny houses.
She flies people over to perform on this show and stuff. Like if you get like a 2-year-old playing the violin.
Let's fly Darren over to perform on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
I'm not going to perform. I don't have any party tricks.
She's married to an Australian.
Not anymore. They're split.
Since when?
I read Woman's Weekly.
They have not split. They're still together.
Yeah, no, infidelity. One was cheating on the other with another lady, and it was all.
No,
you don't do that.
Talking shit.
No,
they're still together.
No, it's all over.
No, it's not.
It's all over. Apparently, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. No, anyway, so they're all over as well. That's the thing. All the celebrities.
She's given us. So there you go. Quickly.
Okay, hang on. Let's see if this works. Bear with us, people. This is an experiment. Send an invite. So. What is it?
It's IMCC.
It's LM.
Oh.
L McLean's.
For you. Number 4. I've got a number 4 in mine.
Oh, Jesus. LMM. CC.
Number 4 is my lucky number.
1M, 2 C's. Oh, God.
You forgot the U, Dale.
No.
There's a U after the 4.
Oh, God.
See? Always right.
LMCC.
You didn't want to do. There she is. No, I think you're supposed to just click on.
I think we've just invited Leonie. This has been a bit of an experiment. We'll see if this works.
It's good because I want to know how we can do it.
Yeah, because we don't want
Leonie, you're our first guinea pig. Thank you. See if she accepts it first.
I don't know what happens, whether she just appears on the screen and whether we can hear her or not. I'll turn the volume up just in case. We probably should test it out with one of our regular people before we get someone like a Jay Schaefer or a Derek Diedrichson on the
It was over for, okay, so Alan and Portia de Rossi. Oh, it's now Portia. Anyway, it was over for a week, back together, and now having twins. Well, there you go.
Is that biologically possible?
I read Portia's book about her anorexia. That was fascinating.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another topic.
So
completely off topic.
So I don't know what's happening. I did send an invitation to Leonie. Did you get an invitation, Leonie? We should probably suss this out through the week with Coffee Cart and just work out how this works so it can be smooth. Because
that's right. I finally figured out how to get your conversations up. So that we've sorted that out now.
Yeah. So there we go.
No, she said nothing here. She hasn't got anything. I don't think you did it right.
Thanks, honey.
I think you're supposed to click on the head that popped up.
You know, I'll keep doing this. You keep talking while I'm.
Would you want me to scroll back up to the it's new idea world? None of it's true. True. Very true. I stopped looking at those magazines years ago. And the same reason I stopped watching television.
Yeah, Leonie Coates. There you go. Invite. Invitation posted for the second time. What was he saying?
Not sure.
Yeah, so if any of you got any general questions about anything that we may be able to help out with, then obviously feel free to ask away. But yeah.
Yeah, the chat's lagging behind.
It is a little bit. So
that's all right. We'll just keep talking.
We guarantee by this time next Friday we would have.
Mary's saying it's a great giggle.
Well, thanks, Mary. It was
as long as you're laughing with us, not at us. No. Yeah. Like I do with him.
Well, yeah, that's right. Well, I figure this is probably the perfect way that people can, unless people actually come and move in with us for a couple of weeks, this is a good way for them to get to know us and what we like. But
it gives us an insight to them as well, and we can see that they're chit-chatting with each other and getting to know each other, so that's good.
Yeah, so we will organise this with Coffee Cart, whether he knows it or not. I don't even know if he has a webcam. He can go buy one, bugger it. We'll organise it with you, Coffee Cart, and we'll make sure that we work out. I guess I could organise it with you. I could go to one room and you could be...
No, because that's just ridiculous. We're together...
No, but we can test out how to do it. How I could interview. Okay, I could invite you and you could come on.
Yeah, but that's... No.
Anyway. So we're going to be interviewing each other as well.
That's what Darren thought. She said...
I couldn't do live chat. I've got a head for radio. Yeah, we're not sure what's happening, Leonie. That's all right. We'll sort it out. Yeah, we'll have to work it out.
What? Mick, we've got a troll. Who's Mick Hunt?
Yeah, just everyone ignore. I don't know who that is. Mick, settle down, will you?
It's all right.
How do people with lots of sports hobbies fit all their toys into a tiny house? I think I should build a separate garage. I'd like to put my motorbike and car. Okay, motorbike and car is going to be a little bit difficult. Pokey Pickle, I would suggest. Yeah, thanks, Mick. Settle down. Just behave. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Leonie. We'll connect up through the week and we'll work it out. Pokey Pickle, in terms of a garage, one build that I would check out is Shed Systems. It's a build in the States. They've got a beautiful It's all right, Mick. They've got a beautiful interior, but the exterior is clad. The entire thing is clad in corrugated iron. It kind of looks a bit like a garden shed. But with the Shed Systems build, they've taken like the last 4 feet of their house, the back 4 feet, and they've made it a shed. And they've got kayaks in there, all their rock climbing gear, their camping gear, sleeping bags, tents, all that sort of stuff. Probably surfboards and shit as well. So that's one way of handling it. The other way, of course, is to have a separate utility trailer or shed as your garage. I know that Ryan Mitchell from the Tiny Life in the States, tinylife.com, he built a tiny house and he had a separate enclosed utility trailer that he just chained up to a great big tree, and that's his shed, garage, and he's just put...
Leonie's going to text you her number and we can work it out.
Yeah. So that's what Ryan does, and he uses that enclosed lockable utility trailer as his garage, and he puts anything that he just doesn't need access to on a regular basis, he shoves in there. So it just has what he actually needs in the house. So there you go.
Sorry, if I look a little bit disinterested in what you're saying, I'm not. I'm just following the conversation.
I'm used to you being disinterested in what I say. Anyway, so hopefully that's been of some use, this idea of there's different ways. So what I'm saying is don't look at YouTube and think religiously, okay, that's how we need to build a tiny house, because the US builds, the materials are cheap. You can't go down to Home Depot and pay $1 a meter or whatever for timber. It's not that pricey. The materials are a lot more expensive.
We're in Victoria, Mick. Yep, Victoria.
Yeah. So materials are a lot more expensive here, and they don't have, every man and his dog has got a big bloody Dodge Ram or Chevy Silverado thing there, and they can pull a mountain. So we need to keep an eye on the weight. As I've said before, the builds that I would watch are the ones in New Zealand, because every one of them in New Zealand has got to keep under 3.5 ton.
I don't know where I saw it. Maybe you guys saw it somewhere as well. I think it was yesterday or today. Someone posted about how they built their tiny house using their walls. Oh, We Are Tiny in New Zealand, I think. They said they've done theirs different. So go to We Are Tiny.
I thought We Are Tiny was the couple from Perth that put their thing on a boat to New South Wales.
Okay, so it's the other one, the We
Were Tiny?
W-E-E. The Wee Tiny?
Tiny Wee, I don't know. I don't know.
No, there's a build happening in New Zealand. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. And it's a blue logo, a light blue logo.
Winston's talking about for multiple broadcasters, it's easier to use Google Hangouts and also Medicam to broadcast it to Facebook. We do want to do Facebook Live, because I think we do get a bigger reach with Facebook Live, but the Friday night things will be YouTube Live. Facebook Live, I don't think you're able to add in extra people. If you're on an iPhone, you can, I believe, but we're Android people. But we do want to work out how we can use Facebook Live as well.
Yeah. But that's good to know, because we do want to have situations or conversations where there is multiple. That's not just a one-on-one interview type scenario or guest.
Yeah.
We'd love to do some sort of forum with multiple people. So that's an idea. That's an option.
Yeah. There's always Skype and having some sort of way of recording a Skype conversation with 3 or 4 people and then upload it. But that gets messy. The thing I actually like about Facebook Live and YouTube Live is that this one doesn't have to worry about any editing. It's like start, stop, and whatever it is.
I'm banked up with some editing. I've got editing from
Sydney. From the Sydney Home Show, from the Melbourne Sustainability Festival, my presentation.
The presentation in the Dome tent with Murray.
Yeah.
Because Murray was up on stage with Darren talking about his build there.
Yeah.
The Deakin University talk, I did a bit of a vlog. Sort of filming.
For those, I did post it to the website and also to the Facebook page in the group. My presentation at Deakin University, that was done. That wasn't recorded by us. That was far too good quality for us. That was done by the film crew at Deakin.
And that's on the website, is it?
And that's on the website, and it's on the it's in the media section of the website. And I also put it up on the
That's
Facebook
all right.
page.
It's Friday night drinks here with Tiny Houses Australia. Allowed to be a little
Nick
bit
says, my wife
tipsy.
is not home. Sorry, I'm very drunk. That's all right. We won't tell her. So there's lots of, our general advice is like watch YouTube, but kind of don't rely on YouTube, because otherwise you'll end up with a house that's like 8 ton and you'll never get it on the road. So, but it's been interesting. I've been speaking to people that, actually, my trailer manufacturer is doing.
Yeah, that's what Nasi's Fast is saying. We should do what you suggested before. Just test it out on each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had a quote. A guy approached us for an 8-meter long trailer, and he's been toing and froing with me over the last couple of months. And he wanted an 8-meter trailer, but the thing is, he's going to put it on his land, and he's going to build on it on his land, and it's probably never ever going to leave his land. So, and the trailer was going to come out to be sort of $8,500. And so what we're looking at doing is our trailer manufacturer actually suggested, why don't we do it on skids? Because you can still, and he's looked into this because he's building a cabin on his property, and he's going to do 2 on skids and join them together. But
we are going to talk to him at length, because he bypassed the council I went to the National
I think it's the VBA or Victorian Builder or
Association.
Master Builders Association. I don't. There's something there's an association that overrides local councils. And so just as you can say to council officers, no, go away, it's none of your business, it's a caravan when you've got a tiny house on wheels. Apparently, if you've got a tiny house on skids, then it's the same deal. Sorry, it's a portable, you have to get the terminology, I think it's a portable building, therefore none of your business, not on permanent foundations. But the point is, my trailer guy said, well, what we could do is if he's never ever going to put it on the road, it cuts that opportunity out altogether. But what we could do is do it on skids and then just do it on a couple of a really basic, really lightweight wheel kit, just enough to get the trailer to the build site. And then if he wants, he could take off the wheels and then have it just 6 inches off the ground. And that was going to be like $6,200. It was going to save him $2,000 or $3,000 by doing that. Mm. So that's an option for you guys. If you have your own land, like acreage property, and you know that once you get the trailer there, it's never, ever going to leave, you're kind of cutting off your face when you do it. But if you, I guess not really, because you could always, worst case scenario, you could always get a crane truck in there to put it up. But that's an option. Yeah.
Is there anything you guys want us to quickly cover before we go? Because I'm just looking at the time.
Yeah. We could be in the same room to use two separate computers and webcam each other. Yeah, we'll check it out, Cart. I'll go out into the naughty corner and on the caravan and whatever.
Mick, no, I don't think that's an option.
Mick's asking if I get an RV or tent in Victoria and buy a land, can I park on it forever? Well, you can as long as the council.
If you're well hidden.
If the council doesn't,
you might be able to get away with it. But.
Yeah, my general approach is, and this is also from speaking to people that are actually doing it, is if you pick the right, if you just want to say, I'm just going to do it and not tell the council, then it requires you to pick the right block of land and just find a place where you do a cash in hand arrangement with the landowner.
Helen. See you next week.
See you, Helen. And pick the right spot of land where you can't be seen from the road, you can't be seen by the neighbours, and just do it. Better still, just take the trailer in and build it on the property. And then who the hell's ever going to know that you're there? And if they do some drone footage or aerial photos and the council comes to you and say, what's that thing there? Yeah, that's my caravan. I store it up there and I go up there sometimes on the weekends. Do you live in it? No, of course not. It's just a caravan.
I'm of the mindset that it's my land. It's none of your business. I'm going to do what I like.
And don't they need a warrant before they can't just legally walk on your land?
Not only that, I'm also, if they want to fight me on it, I'll fight them until the very end. So that's just me. Is that you?
It's becoming me after meeting you. Yeah. What is it? I'm waking up. Is that the process?
Oh, don't tell everyone that because not everyone understands that.
Well, anyway, So Mick, thank you very much. Yeah, you're welcome. Look, we're learning as well as everyone else, but and Vicky is happy that look, we honestly didn't know how these sessions were going to be perceived. We thought people might think Vicky. People might think there's a bunch of idiots sitting there talking to each other, but hopefully this is a value. As I said, it helps people get to know us, and hopefully we can answer some questions that people are maybe pondering.
What? Twitch on you now? What? Or I haven't heard of those. Twitch or you now?
You now I haven't heard. I've heard of Twitch. Twitch is more for. I thought Twitch was more for streaming. When you're playing your video games and stuff, and recording that. But yeah, we'll check into it. Robin says Google Hangouts is really good for groups.
Yep.
Thanks, Leonie. We'll catch up with you next week, hopefully.
Thanks for joining in again.
Yeah, and how good is red?
Night, Mick.
Yeah, night, guys.
Cheers.
Night, Mick. Have another red, mate. So what are we talking about next week? Who knows? But put some suggestions. Obviously, all these comments will disappear once we hit stop and the video is archived, and then the regular public ongoing comments will be open. So feel free to comment below as to what, if any, topics in
every Friday night.
If in particular there's any topics that you want us to cover or touch on. If there's anything that we don't know, we'll just say, don't know. And we'll find out. But anyway, all right, Mary. Good night. Vicky's heading off as well. There's still 14 there, but
yeah, but we've gone for an hour and 20 minutes. So
yeah.
No, we haven't. We've been going for
an hour and 19 because we started at 8 o'clock.
No. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. You need another wine. Anyway,
No,
so
I will have another, but I don't need another.
Yeah, that's right.
You got biscuits.
Yeah, well, I had one earlier, but I felt sort of inappropriate chomping on a biscuit.
Yeah, it was a bit.
Anyway, so hopefully we'll organise. We have got interviews lined up. We want to sort out either with Leonie or Coffee Cart. We'll sort out this joining up interviews and getting another person on board, and we'll see how that works so that we can be smooth when we approach the Derek Diedrichsons of the world and the Derek Howletts and
I want to get Derek and Hannah on together. I want to get them over here actually.
Yeah,
Derek's been over here already, like
years ago when he was
for bike tours. And stuff.
Yeah, for those of you that want to, if you haven't heard about Derek and Hannah, Hannah from High Carb Hannah on YouTube and Derek from Life Inside a Box. They found each other.
Good night, Jackie.
They found each other. They married. They're in love, kind of like us, except we're not married.
No, you take too long. Emily's laughing.
Shut up, Emily. So yeah, but Life Inside a Box. Derek is a electrician. He built his tiny house. They've bought 40 acres of desert, and they're turning it into a permaculture oasis over time. So ongoing projects and which they can
also
do.
Jake and Kiva announced that Jake's doing a TEDx talk, so can't wait for that. I want to watch that.
Yeah, Jake and Kiva from Tiny Nest, the Tiny Nest project.
We love watching their videos as well. In fact, Kiva, if you're watching, which they probably won't, maybe, I don't know, they approached me a couple of years ago asking if I would offer up my design for them to do a SketchUp because I'm going to do a SketchUp tutorial.
Yeah, you said
and
no.
Boy, am I kicking myself.
We said no.
I was a little bit. It's my baby. I want to do it.
Yeah. But what we get, I think what Lisa's
now it's like, oh no, because it's a really good SketchUp tutorial.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to get their head around tutorial, yes, I know there's lots and lots of free tutorials on YouTube, but if you want one that's specifically about how to learn SketchUp from the point of view, if you never use SketchUp, you want to learn to design and build your tiny house with SketchUp on a computer, as opposed to on paper, then
it's a $30 download.
It's $30. It's like 6 hours of tutorials, and it's.
I wonder if they want to do an updated version, because then my design's been updated since then. They might want to come and do that.
You never know. We'll talk about it. So lots of things, but we do want to get down.
I don't know any jokes, Mick. Sorry. Do you?
We do want to get.
Do you know any jokes?
Oh, a blind man walks into a supermarket, and he's swinging his dog around, his guide dog around and around his head like this, and the manager comes up and says, "What are you doing?" "Oh, just having a look around."
That's
anyway.
Just sad. I thought you were going to tell the joke you told me. You know how I found out that this guy was interested in me? He sent me a message one night. It was late at night. It was about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
People don't need to hear this.
And he sent me a joke, just a text message saying, two blind men.
Two dyslexic men walk into a bra.
Oh, two dyslexic men walk into a bra. ...
And
yeah, so that's how I kind of like.
How would that make you think?
What
this guy's keen?
man texts a woman at that time of night just with a joke? It means you were thinking about me and you were seeing what my sense of humor was like.
I was testing you out.
Mm-hmm. That's how I knew.
It's 2.5 years ago. So yeah, Pokey Pickles had enough. All right, we'll see you soon.
Okay. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, Vicky creates. Can't get my head around SketchUp. I couldn't either, and I watched a few different types of SketchUp tutorials. This one is
really user-friendly, easy to follow. Now, I come from a fashion design background in terms of I learned how to use Illustrator and Photoshop, so it was a little bit easier for me to transfer those skills onto SketchUp. But there was still some differences and different clicks and different tools I had to get my head around.
Well, that's really all computers are. It's not about programming and stuff now. It's about how to use each individual application.
So, as I was going to say, he watching.
Biscuit.
Jake's videos taught me, even though I had been using it and I'd done a couple of designs with it, there was some information on there that really go, okay, I'll get it now.
Yeah.
So some really cool
and
features in his
for,
tutorial. It's worth $30.
$30 for 6 or 6.5 hours of video tutorials that you can watch over and over again.
Thanks,
and rewind
Mary.
if you watch. Thanks, Mary.
Enjoy the slinky table.
Yeah, we want photos. So yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
I just envision nasty bastard Carteret sending us a photo with his whiskey on there.
Has Cart got his yet? Yours was the most expensive to send up because you're up in Queensland.
Yeah. I was thinking we'll approach this company, we'll get a set for us and a set to give away. And then they give us 4 or 5 sets to give away. We spent like $100 sending these things out.
No, we didn't. He's exaggerating. Wasn't that much?
$70 or $80 to send these things out.
Well, I paid for it.
Let's not go there.
I vlogged about it, so that'll be up.
Yeah, but you also vlogged.
I'm filming him in the post office here in Kyneton.
I'm having
awkward.
Tuesday night on the side of the Calder Freeway. I'm almost in tears going, oh my God, what's happened to my car? And I look at her, she's got the camera going, oh, look at that. The car's being hauled up on the back of the tow truck at 12.
He's nearly crying and I'm filming the truck.
What are you doing? And she's like, I'm vlogging. Anyway.
I need footage to edit.
I don't want you to put
without footage, there's no editing to do. Without editing, there's no videos. Without any videos, there's no YouTube channel.
Why do you need to put that shit up on? Look how life is kicking him in the face yet again. Here's his car breaking down up on the tow truck.
That's what vlogging is.
Yeah, nice.
Mick's in Bendigo. We're in Bendigo next month. Don't come and troll us, but you're welcome to join in.
Don't turn up drunk because that would be awkward. But yeah,
Bendigo on the first Sunday of every month. But the first Sunday of every month we have a meetup, and this next month is in Bendigo.
Yeah, so the first Sunday, I don't know.
Is it at the RSL?
The Bendigo RSL implies there's only one. I think there is only one.
I'm glad
there's an RSL in Bendigo, and it's all on the events tab on the Facebook page.
I don't remember what colour we sent them, and I don't even remember who asked for what.
We sent Leonie the white ones.
Did we?
Yeah. Okay. Because she said, it doesn't matter, but yeah. So Leonie, we sent you the white ones. Hopefully you'll love the white ones.
Welcome to come along. The more the merrier.
I don't really like cards, so I sent him the black ones.
No, I thought we'll send him the black ones because he's a handyman. He can send it back and change the colour if he doesn't like the black one.
If he spills his whiskey, it won't stain so much.
That's true.
Yeah. I just envisage him with a black leather couch and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
Mick doesn't use Facebook.
Oh, okay. Well, it'll be...
it's up on the website.
Well...
Isn't it? Or have you not been putting it up on the website?
Maybe not as yet. But it's the first Sunday. And actually, I'll have a look now. Have a look now to the Facebook page. So we're going to meet up in Bendigo. There's about 20 people coming. There's a big sustainability movement in Bendigo. Just go to the page. Not the group, the page.
Yes.
And then
you're rushing me down.
All right, then events.
Page.
Yep.
Jim Beam. Are you drinking Jim Beam, Kat? I've clicked on it. It's taking a really long time.
And then events. So, first Sunday of the month, we thought we'd do a regional one. And Bendigo on the 4th of June. Click on it. At the Bendigo location. The Bendigo District RSL at Havilah Road, Bendigo. 75 Havilah Road, Bendigo. That's where we're going to be, Mick.
You could just look there in front of you.
Oh, that's a good point. So there's scroll down. How many are going so far?
Look on there.
20 going and
89 interested.
89 interested. Yeah, but that's
but still.
That's like me saying I'm interested in something that does nothing.
You still got a couple of weeks to promote it, so.
Yeah. So, but there should be a good turnout there. It's at the RSL. We'll meet up with some regional tiny house people. So, anyway, in the meantime, I think that's about it for us, isn't it?
Hang on, I want to see what M says.
What date? Lindy Lee Scott, the 4th of June, first Sunday. It's always the first Sunday in every calendar month.
Well, welcome to come along.
I'd love to see you. You two are great. Yeah.
Thanks, Robin. I'll give you a call hopefully in the next week. I do need to get that
treatment
going.
Yeah.
Not sure which one yet, but we'll sort it out when I ring.
Yeah, we'll see. So, yeah, thanks, guys. And let us know, as I said, any questions, any suggestions, if there's people you want us to interview, topics you want us to talk about, all that sort of stuff. Give us feedback on how we're going with
Night, Winston.
Night, Winston.
Unless he's just saying good night, but we're going anyway.
Yeah. So make sure you give us some feedback on our proper, not that this is not proper, our proper pre-recorded, edited YouTube videos. And we'd love some feedback on our Facebook page. For those of you that are on Facebook, there's a reviews tab. So I'm going to ask, if you like what we're trying to do, what we do, the whole thing of what we're trying to do here, we'd love it if you give us some feedback and give us a review and leave some comments about what you think of us and what we're trying to do here over the last 4 years, because there's a new reviews tab on Facebook. So other than that, this has been us.
And this is another Friday Night Drinks.
Yep. Cheers. I'm empty. All right,
Thanks
guys.
for joining in, guys.
Thanks, guys. And we'll see you next Friday night.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.
All right.
All right. See you guys.